a president is a sign that indeed we should have opened up to those signs. All those signs were clear that you are not capable to be a president. This is the man who knowingly had sex with an HIV-positive woman and later explained to court that shower will lessen the chances of contracting HIV. We are now a laughingstock of the world. This was another sign of us. This was another sign shown to us that you are incapable of becoming a president, but we ignored that. This is the man who knowingly impregnated a friend's child despite that he had many wives at home. This was another sign that you are bad with judgment. This is the man who did not take any decisive action when the Gupta family landed their plane at Waterkloof. Actually, instead of taking action, this is the same man who embraces the same family and attend all their events, despite the fact that those people compromise the security of this country. This is the same man, wait a bit. I was going to say chess, but I remembered you are a wrong man. This is the same man who appoint ministers with close relationships with Gupta's family, and those ministers immediately start negotiating business deals for the Guptas and his son. I'm talking from experience. In my previous life, when I was a friend with Minister of Sports, he received a call from the Guptas. He was still a deputy minister of police, and they told him that he was going to be a minister of sports. And that was during the time when he still had courage. He went to the NEC of the ANC and raised this matter. He was so angry, and he even cried about it, that why are we being appointed by unelected leaders into positions of responsibility? I hope one day my former friend will find himself and continue to fight this just cause. This is the man who in December exchanged ministers of finance in South Africa, gave misleading and wrong reasons, and accelerated our country currency into a junk status, which led to loss of more than 500 billion. The crisis caused by mindless and unexplained changes in national treasury are not some elite or palace battles. It is a critical that it has got a direct impact on the lives and livelihoods of ordinary South Africans. When South Africa's currency is weak, it will become more expensive for South Africans to buy basic consumer goods and services for other parts of the world, from the other parts of the world. As we speak now, in the context of drought, South Africa has to import more than 6 million of tons of maize meal, which is stable food for more than 80% of South Africans. A weak currency will mean that everything that we import from other parts of the world will be expensive and unaffordable for many families, and all this because of one man. Our country is being relegated to a junk country because of actions and decisions of one man. This one man called a president is responsible for many ills affecting our country, and he blames all this on the global economy. There are challenges in the global economy, but Mr. Zuma is responsible for the many ills confronting our country. Alongside Mr. Zuma's unforgivable blunders are ministers and premiers who learn from the best and replicate the same form of corruption and unaccountability in their department and provinces. The Premier of Free State, Ace Magashule, is the most corrupt Premier in South Africa who's not accountable to anyone. The man is untouchable. The Premier of Mpumalanga Province is the most corrupt Premier in South Africa who plays part in the disappearance of his opponents in his province and loot as he wishes. The Premier of Northwest is also corrupt, plays a part in the disappearance of opponents in his province and not being held accountable. This and many others engage in these activities with the knowledge and endorsement of one man who will all are expected to treat with respect. Alongside these ills caused by him is a family who are business partners of his son and business partners of his political subjects, the Gupta family. The Gupta family influences and capture of South African state and government is not a fiction, and the reason we have provided are just a tip of an iceberg. The Guptas are party to the institutionalization of mediocrity here in South Africa, and this is shown by the mediocre media houses and other businesses that are parasitic on the state. South Africa, we stand here, bound and obliged by the constitutional and moral obligation, and call for the immediate removal of Mr. Zuma as the President of the Republic of South Africa. Mr. Zuma has caused so much damage and is in the process of causing more damage. Under his watch, a huge amount of money from the police slush fund disappeared, and that was the money meant to fight crime. Under his watch, money keeps on disappearing in the security agency. We cannot stand back and do nothing when one individual is accelerating South Africa into a further decay. The man has accepted to have breached his oath of office and the Constitution. The reality is that in no time and under Mr. Zuma's watch and supervision, we will be left with no country and no systems to hold our people accountable. We are here today to once again apologize to former President Mbeki for being part of those who removed him on the basis of lies, rumors, gossip spread by the sitting president. President Mbeki in his letter says, "I did not tell who was misleading us. We were misled by this man, the President of the Republic of South Africa." I remember I had a meeting with President Zuma after the Nicholson judgment, where President Zuma said to me he doesn't want to work with President Mbeki.
Order, Honorable Malema, please take your seat. Yes, Honorable Member, on what point are you rising?
No, Honourable Speaker, I will request that you ask the gallery there to stop participating in our debates.
Indeed, we always repeat this on numerous occasions in the past, that we ask and appeal to our guests in the gallery to please not participate in the proceedings of the House by clapping your hands or in any other way participating in the proceedings, because we want to welcome you all to be part of this joint sitting only by sitting and observing in an orderly fashion. Thank you very much. Proceed, Honorable Malema.
I led the charge on the removal of President Mbeki after the meeting I had with President Zuma, where he made it very clear to me that he's not prepared to work with President Mbeki. This is despite the fact that the former president of the Youth League, Mbalula, called me from the mountain and encouraged me not to participate in that activity of removing Mbeki because it will cause a problem. That's why I know that Mbalula has got capacity to see wrong things. He just needs to come around. Had we listened to him, we will not be in this state. For those who do not know, Mbalula discouraged us from calling for the removal of President Mbeki. We apologize to President Mandela for allowing Mr. Zuma to reign his legacy and turning South Africa into a junk country. We never and will never agree with the economic policies pursued by both President Mbeki and President Mandela, but at least they knew what they stood for, unlike him, who stands for nothing, always get persuaded by the Guptas to take wrong decisions, a man who prioritizes himself and his family. If all of you doubt that, then you must refer to the presentation which was made in the Constitutional Court, where all of you were damned by the president. A man who can single-handedly destroy what used to be the movement of the people. A man who says, "I will not pay." The whole movement says he must not pay. A man who says, "Now I will pay." The whole movement says, you will now pay. Think, comrades. that you are participating in destroying the organization of Krisani, Lituli, and O.R. Tambo, organization that never believed in the politics of personality cult. You are more Zuma members than being members of the ANC. You need to discover yourself. Tell to all South Africans, our message is clear and simple. Freedom is coming. The economic freedom fighters is the last hope for jobs and service delivery. We are the last hope for massive industrial development to create millions of jobs. We are the last hope for free quality education for all. We are the last hope for quality health care, for sanitation, and for better services. We are the last hope for the war against corruption. The EFF is the last hope for the people of Stretla, of Mdantsane, Umlazi, Soweto, Makwilering, Bushbuck Ridge, Orange Farm, Guguletu, Kailicha, Umtata, and all areas where there are no jobs and basic services for our people. The EFF is the last hope for the workers of Toyota in KwaZulu-Natal, of all metal workers in Nelson Mandela, Buffalo City, and Tshwane. We are the hope of all mine workers in Marikana, in the entire Platinum Belt, in Kuruman, Kimberley, the trapped workers of Lily Mine, and all the areas where workers face brutal exploitation. Mr. Zupta, your legacy can be summed up into three things: Mushiniwam, Nkandla, Guptas. And I'm leaving. I can't sit here to debate what you presented here because you are not a legitimate president. Bye-bye.
Honorable Malema, as you leave, I want you to know that, as you know, what you did was wrong. You should have done it in the form of a substantive motion. You did it knowingly, and it was wrong, and shall be expunged from the Hansard.